Yeah, we don't realize how important it is to daydream, to really like get this creative grasp on something. You know, if you're struggling with a creative concept, whether it is, to do with yourself as a person or an actual creative project that you're working on, whatever the nature is of that creative project, if you don't have time to allow the different combinations of possibilities just to unfold in your mind without giving it too much direction, it's like you don't really have your full capacity to be creative available to you. And I was thinking, like, but what, like, how does that apply to ourselves? I was just thinking, like, myself. I think I've been quite lucky in that regard, because I'm a bit of a, well, not a hermit, but I'm a very accomplished introvert. Let me just put it that way. And I've had a lot of time to just think about who I am and who I want to be, and I kind of have a very clear idea about what that is. Unfortunately, I've neglected a lot of other areas of my life, so I'm not saying that's the right way to go at all. It just happens to be the way that I've gone with my life. And so I'm in this position where I've actually got space now to enact all the things that I've been daydreaming about, especially the more, like the creative projects like writing or whatever. But I think, like, I don't know, I just get this feeling that it's a great opportunity for a lot of people out there who haven't had a chance to think about themselves. Those of you who've just been working really hard, and you know, whether you've been successful or not unsuccessful, or whatever the situation is, you're just in a situation where you've been working incredibly hard, and you haven't, you don't even have an hour in the day to just think about yourself and your life and whatever else comes to mind. And I'm kind of excited for all of you, in the sense that, especially those of you who have really created a path for yourself in terms of your career, because if that's relatively stable, even though things are uncomfortable now, but if you sort of relative to the situation, you're kind of stable, you've got this amazing opportunity to just think about yourself and who you are in this world beyond what you do, and because you can kind of create aspects of yourself. You're not set on a determined path, like, this is who I am, this is who I must be. There are a lot of unknowns about who we are too, and we tend to think, I believe, that we have these fixed personalities because we commit ourselves to life paths that determine how we respond to situations. Obviously, we're going to be limited to a set of responses, and they almost become overload. It doesn't mean we don't have other capacities or other abilities. And I think it's going to be an interesting time for a lot of people. So basically, I know things are stressful now, and there really are a lot of decent to really good videos out there on how you can really manage, or just to learn more about, like, what isolation means for the human mind, and how it applies to you. Of course, you need to figure out, but you've got time to learn a lot of interesting shit about how the human mind works, and to get to know yourself better in a very real way. And so I would be super interested to see what happens with people when they take the time to daydream about themselves and kind of treat themselves as a topic, that's worth daydreaming about, and taking sort of seriously as a creative project, because you can't force that kind of creativity. You got to just allow yourself to think about all sorts of things and who you want to be, whether it's like, these grandiose fantasies of fame, or wretched fantasies of, like, just committing the most heinous things. You got to let your mind wander to those things and explore them and get to know yourself and who you are, because of course we're capable of extreme kindness and also extreme cruelty. The same person would be capable of those things, and there's nothing wrong with knowing that about yourself. And maybe instead of avoiding, because I know you're sort of being stuck at home, whether it's with your family or you're alone, you're faced with a lot of discomfort, and, like, yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of agitation. People are going to get hostile, and be forced in a situation where they need to communicate in order to move past, the uncomfortable emotions. And which is good on the one hand, because it's not easy to communicate with people, especially when you're angry with them or disappointed, and you don't want to hurt their feelings, and or you don't know how to express disappointment in others or whatever. Everyone's got like something somewhere that they kind of struggle with, and I imagine that a lot of it's going to come to the surface, and that's also an opportunity to, like, because if you daydream about yourself and you know these things, or you know more about yourself, when these things come up, you can be like, oh, okay, so maybe, my frustration with with my wife or my husband, for example, maybe it has something to do with, the fact that I need more control, or because I haven't been communicating well up until this point, and it's got a long history. There's just so much, and everyone's unique. You all got like your own interesting stories, and I guess I'm excited in a way, like, because I think we will all come out of this, and I think we will come out of this more interesting people. I think you, like many of you, will. And I'm hoping that this is also a time where you feel comfortable expressing and showing who you are, because I want to know. I don't want to just meet people in a bar and talk shit and blah blah blah. I really don't want to do that. I want to get a sense of who you are, and I don't want to have to be your therapist to do that either. I don't need to have intimate, close relationships or professional relationships with people to get a sense of their core. I just want to see it. So however you express it, please just share it. I just want to see it. If it's just for me, like, I know if you don't get your grand audience, I'm sorry, but like my appreciation will be grand, I promise you. So please daydream about yourselves. Think about who you are. Be creative and share it with people however you want to. Like Teddy, I know, is going to watch it as well. So, at least it's two of us.